It's okay. Off your mind. It's okay. Off your mind.
Chai! Now wow, people wey suppose talk truth to power don off mic, and if we talk, na 500,000 they go sama us call am hate speech. But fear not, Mayegun don come. Him go torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people wey dey spoil our country. So my people make we loud, oh yo yo. Mayegun don come, oh yo yo. My people make we shout, oh yo yo. Mayegun don come, oh yo yo. Mayegun don come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. Mayegun don come, oh yo yo. Mayegun diary politico, oh yo yo. Mayegun don come, oh yo yo. This one na dey off in mind, oh yo yo. Mayegun don come, oh yo yo. And in dey touchlight every corner, oh yo yo. Mayegun don come, oh yo yo. Okay, some people be dey holla say dem want the power. Chai, dem be promise us say we go get light and power. Dem hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Every day, dollar just they get the higher power over naira. Still them talk say make we off mic, but thank God say Mayegun don come. So my people make you loud, oh yo yo. Mayegun don come, oh yo yo. My people make we shout, oh yo yo. Mayegun don come, oh yo yo. Mayegun don come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. Mayegun don come, oh yo yo. Mayegun diary politico, oh yo yo. Mayegun don come, oh yo yo. This one not dey off in mind, oh yo yo. Mayegun don come, oh yo yo. Person wey dey do evil no wan make person talk. Them say that Mayegun, that man too dey talk. He too dey talk. Say Mayegun diary, he dey hot like pepper. But every day, then they take money in bulk. Woman pikin dey the street dey hawk. Still them talk say make we no talk. But thank God say Mayegun don come. So my people make you loud, oh yo yo. Mayegun don come, oh yo yo. My people make you shout, oh yo yo. Mayegun don come, oh yo yo. Mayegun don come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. Mayegun don come, oh yo yo. Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one.
Mayegun ti dé o, ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú.
Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one.
Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube.
Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one.
Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Mayegun já wa sí.
Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one.
Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o.
Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one.
Bó bá ṣe eré, àní Mayegun máa wí.
Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one.
Ó sì tún ṣe eré, wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o.
Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one.
Mayegun diary politico.
Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one.
Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Mayegun.
Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one.
Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o.
Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one.
Àní Mayegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé. Mayegun ti dé.
Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Lórí Facebook.
Mayegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Lórí YouTube.
Mayegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. ìgbádìyẹ.
Máyégún mami,
Àníyàn sọ́ra jù.
máyégún ti dé.
Pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o.
Máyégún mami,
Àníyàn sọ́ra jù.
máyégún ti
Hello there, brethren. So good morning to you, good afternoon to you, and a good evening to you from wherever you are joining us. It is Mayegun live. And you know what to do. After reading the caption of the broadcast, read the description of the broadcast as well. So like it, share it, invite your friends, invite your not so friendly friends, and tell them to join us. The Mayegun is live. And that's it. So you can then sit back, relax, and of course engage. Thank you for joining me once again, right? As it is, as many people have somehow like concluded that Kalu, the Mr. Strategist in politics, they say, right? But not in governance. Poorly, by the way. So it is believed that their state capture is already concluded. They are just consolidating it. And as it comes to their 2027 charade, it is already won and lost in their own book and their permutation. Fair enough, where they have made it pretty much clear to those who are in the opposition that if they really want to remain politically relevant, it would be better for them to join Kalu. So who are those who will challenge him in 2027? That's the question that the man that will succeed Tifnumbu, if anything should happen to him, right? And that is Shettima. So according to Shettima, he believes that with what Tinubu has done for Nigeria in the last 2.5 years, his vision, his popularity, his acceptance, and what have you, that it will only be for a fool, it will take a fool to challenge him in 2027. And people have been reacting. Maybe you are going to react too, right? Let's start with that. Shettima yesterday. In fact, there is another one too. And that one is from Akpabiole. That one has to do with doctoring the Electoral Act in order to make all this smooth sail for them in 2027. Right?
Shettima and the governor of Kwara State, followed my very good friend Elder Francis Sherif Oboboreoye to appreciate and celebrate all our governors here. And of course, I want to sing out for special recognition 3 elder statements here. Aremu Olusegun Oshoba is 86 years old. He is here with us. Baba BC Ande is 87 years old and will turn 88 on the 13th of January next year. He is here with us. And former Senate President Pepme Ebute is 79 years old and he has been here. And he has been a loyal party member. And of course, there is someone that has been my in-law, former Senate President Ahmed Ibrahim Lawan, whom during the electioneering season I had routinely lambasted, but he kept a straight silence. So thank you for your patience and understanding and your tolerance. My speech will be very brief. The Gettysburg speech, one of the most famous speeches ever spoken, was just 272 words by Abraham Lincoln. Politics reward memory, and today, memory must begin with gratitude. Before we speak of mass and march, we must acknowledge the singular role of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in building the very culture of opposition that brought us here. Long before power came calling, he stood when it was unfashionable to stand, organized when it was dangerous to organize, and yet democracy when silence was safer. Nigeria's opposition did not survive by accident. It survived because one man refused to surrender the political space. Let me say this plainly and with a smile. The APC is fortunate that Bola Ahmed Tinubu is not in opposition today. He's the kind of fighter you pray never stands across the ring from you twice. His experience is not just history, it is the armor of this party, forged in resistance, sharpened by survival, and perfected by victory. In 2015, we won 21 states because Nigerians believed in change and because our coalition was disciplined. In 2018, we retained power with 19 states, learning that incumbency protects but does not persuade. In 2023, we won the presidency with 12 states. But as we look towards 2027, one truth stands above all others. Elections follow confidence. And confidence today flows from the trust in the leadership of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. People do not cross over because of slogans. They cross over because they trust judgment, they trust courage, and staying power. They know that our president understands opposition, understands power, and understands how to keep pace with those who take political risk. In 2003, two APC ANPP governors were brought joined into submission and were forced to join the PDP. And our governors, opposition governors in the Southwest, went to sleep. Only one man was awake, and the PDP regime machine overran the whole of the Southwest. But today, it's a different ball game. We are 28 states strong. Only a fool hell-bent on a suicidal path or an outright imposter can dare to challenge President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in 2027 election. But we are in a democracy and people are free to contest elections. But elections are not won by noise or nostalgia. Elections are not conducted, to borrow the words of Obasani, elections are not conducted on Facebook or on Twitter. They are won by coalitions, credibility and conviction. With the experience of our president as our shield and the lessons of the past as our guide, I believe that 2027 is not a gamble. It is a responsibility, and by the grace of God, we shall have a rendezvous with destiny. It's my singular honor and privilege to cherish forever to invite our leader, the single kinetic presence in
Maiduguri Kim Jong-un, or Maiduguri Elon Musk. I can actually call him Elon Musk, Maiduguri Elon Musk. So he loved to be kind of to present himself as an orator. And therefore, Tinubu conquered all his political opposition, and right now is possibly just shaping what the opposition will be like. So, according to Maiduguri Kim Jong-un, that's a Shettima, only a fool, hell-bent on a suicidal path or an outright imposter can dare to challenge President Bola Tinubu in 2027 election. But it's a democracy. They could go on and attempt this suicidal path. A fool on a suicidal path or an imposter can dare to challenge a call. Indeed, they are in charge. They've captured all the state institutions. And as it is, it's just going to be you versus them if you go to that charade, which is already rigged before you even casted the first ballot. I'm not using reverse psychology on you. Just look around you. As you are here right now, I don't know how many of you are very much aware that they are doing this constitutional amendment right now. And they are also amending your electoral acts. The electoral acts, part of the proposition was that those who commit electoral fraud, bribery, violence, and the rest of that, right, should actually face prosecution, including jail. But they have removed that now. They voted it out like, no, leave money there. They have increased what, each office, or should I say, each office that you are running for, how much money you can actually spend, the election budget. They've increased that, the president to 10 billion, you know what I mean? Like, so it's still going to be about money it's going to be all about money as usual, all right? But behind the scene, they are ensuring that as much as some of you will be like, why can't they have a law that prohibit this? Why can't they just let election result be transferred like normally? All those questions, the reason why they will never happen is what this guy is mentioning right now, Akpabiole. Because according to him, they are planning to, well, he just said it, and don't be surprised when that comes to pass. Because according to him, their constitution says, if you are appointed as, a political appointee, for example, to a governor or to the president, okay? So you would have to resign if you have a political ambition, that is, you want to run for office or run for something. And they said this was just to create fairness and, to separate the use of public fund versus private fund, campaign fund. Something that is pretty much not really followed. But the fact that they still managed to resign and say, I want to go and be governor, resign as minister. Akpabiole said it doesn't make sense to just leave the president without ministers. So they would have to look into that and see if they can change the law that allows those who will be ministers to still run for offices as they are still ministers in your 2027. It may happen then. Akpabiole.
Yes, the Vice President, our own Shettima, my brother, the Right Honourable Speaker, the National Chairman, our governors, members of. Just before I came up, Mr. President, so, Mr. President, remember I'm a lawyer, and in the law school, they always teach us that an after-dinner speech must be like a woman's skirt, long enough to cover the subject matter, but short enough to be interesting. So I will take this like an after-dinner speech. I want to, on behalf of the Senate, adopt all the speeches delivered at this next meeting. So I join to welcome both the old and the members of NEC. I adopt the speech of the National Chairman. I adopt the speech of the progressive governors. I also adopt the speech of my partner, the Right Honourable Speaker. National Chairman, you make them available so that I will use the speeches as working document for discussion on Tuesday in the Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. But on a cursory look, I must say that we have grown as a party. I must say that yes, indeed, the party and National Working Committee members are doing well. I want to say congratulations to all of you. I want to also welcome all the new governors, and to say that yes, indeed, the governors did not come alone. They came with the structures in their various states. So I also welcome those structures who are not opportune to be here today. I want to join the party to do everything possible to realize that democracy is all about the National Assembly and, of course, the executive. In other climes where democracy is not practiced, you will notice that they will have the executive and they will also have the judiciary. But whenever you have a democracy, National Assembly becomes paramount and therefore needs to be consulted. So whilst I applaud the APC governors for their strides, I just want to appeal that you carry along the National Assembly members, the House of Assembly members in your various states. I hope this is not too much of a demand. They are the closest to the grassroots. Mr. President, we feel strongly that the vote of confidence once again reposed in you by the APC governors share in that in the National Assembly. So we say that we have confidence, implicit confidence in your capacity, in your clarity of purpose, and your ability to navigate the very difficult terrain to take Nigeria to the next level. So we say congratulations so far for a job well done. And on that note, Mr. President, I will say that from National Assembly, particularly the Senate, we will not fail you. We will not fail our party. We have so far not failed you. We have so far not failed our party. Every bill, every request, we have tried to make sure that we meet them timely for you to move ahead, to change this country from where you met it. Congratulations to all of us, and may God guide our party, and may God not allow us, because of our new size, to self-implode. May we take actions that will carry along the grassroots and improve the living standards of all Nigerians. And may our children who are seeing insecurity today, may they not see again in future. May God give you the enablement as President of Nigeria to continue to take swift action, both in the economic sector and in the security sector, to salvage this country. But so far, you have given hope to those who had no hope. Nigeria was at the crossroads where you came, but things are looking up. Your reform agenda is working. And then, of course, we who are behind you to craft the laws are ready to continue to do so. Mr. Chairman, we are going to tinker with the Electoral Act. We will finish that before the end of January, so that as you go into your congresses, you have a clear timeline of which you will do your primaries for the next election. We will not allow the president to be a president without ministers, because primaries are held 10 to 12 months before the general election. So we are looking into that, and with the advice and assistance of the president, we'll soon get back to the party. So congratulations for the new members, particularly our governors. And in fact, for me, as the Senate President and a son of the South, I say congratulations to the South and the other zones, because so far, I can see everything turning around.
All classes, you know what they call F level? Where you get failure in all the subjects that you take. F9, F8, F9, F8, FF, double F. That is his name.
So that's how they were massaging their own ego. But at the last part of the video, he said they will be tinkering with the Electoral Act, because primaries elections are held 12 months before elections, which is not actually true. But let's assume it is. So therefore, those who want to go and contest for governors as ministers, you know, they would kind of do their best to tinker with that, because they can't leave Tinubu without minister. And somebody is a loose mouth. Akpabiole is a loose mouth. And you just need to pay attention to some of the things that slips out of his mouth, because at the end of the day, these things will be done. And yeah, Nobody will just kind of act surprised when they begin to implement them. You know, they are ready to enact, to tinker with the constitution to suit whatever agenda they are planning or plotting. That some of you or some of us have no clue until they unravel them. So they have been doing all of their nocturnal meetings, the arrangement, permutations, and as it stands, Tinubu has secured his second term without any sort of hindrance. Do you get that? Because he currently controls 28 state governors, and according to them, others who are not even in their party are also working for him. So if you manage to capture the state governor, that means you've captured the state. Tinubu's theory, because when you capture the state governor's entire state political apparatus and the rest of them, they are ready to be yours willingly, right? So then when it comes to the elected officials, right, national and local, they are all mostly like, you know, loyal to the state governor. So at the end of the day, so Tinubu's theory is that if they have these 28 state governors, so how do you then think is going to lose in those states when all of them are already like pledging 2 million, 5 million, 6 million votes already for him, while their states, most of their states are in shambles. Some of these states are facing serious terrorism, displaced people out of school, children and the rest of that. Not to talk about the economic hardship and others that a lot of them are facing. But the governors are already kind of like pledging the entire millions of votes in their states to call. So that's the permutation. How is he going to lose? That's the question. And that was why when Kolu was talking to them yesterday, he made them realize that it was God that brought them into this position. So they should be benevolent. I mean, they should be gracious and they should be grateful that they're in this position. So this issue of a local government autonomy, let them get their money and all of that, appealing to them, but referring to God, that, God brought them to these positions. If not that God wanted them in these positions, they won't be there. He is a good example of that. This was called.
It is a great honor for me to stand before you this evening, full of joy, pride. Pride that we have 28 states. Pride that we are the largest growing party on the continent. We are not just the person saying so. Internationally acknowledged. They are talking to us. They know what we have achieved. And they are watching us. Democracy is a must. And this country is the heart of the continent. So what you represent is very significant and has a meaning for the continent. It is in your hand. I, as one leader, must say thank you very much. Listen to the vote of confidence from the Governor General. Listen to the party chairman. Listen to the vice president. Listen to the speaker. Listen, the honorable speaker. Listening to the Senate president. It is encouraging to just stand here, say good night, and we'll go to sleep a little bit. Okay, if you have a huge living room as big as this,
create a little bit of room for your neighbor who is outside or is just coming in. The rain that is driving that neighbor will not beat that neighbor dead. Will only be soaked and wet. But you may need their heart of warmness and prayer. Accommodate them. Take that seriously. Be resilient. The state and the world level is my concern. Don't you want to be, you want to lead the state or impose their will and all of that? It's my fear now. And there's no need. God creates that opportunity for individual. And if God says you will be there, I am a symbol of that. God says you will be there. If we lend ourselves to innovation, we can create wonders. Yeah, it's a successful, again, a town hall, different from Blue Bulaba.
I don't know if you could make any sense of everything he said, but I just had to kind of dip that in there. Like, you know, this afternoon, the terrorists that took over 30 worshippers from ECWA Church in Kogi, they released a short 25 or so seconds video of these kidnapped worshippers. Nobody is really talking about them. The Kogi State governor, plus Kaduna governor, plus Oplesus Odingba, the Supreme Court governor of Owerri, and others, they gathered themselves to grant a world press conference where they said Tinubu's security has improved so much, especially in Kogi State. This was after these two churches were attacked. The other one, they took, they took over 30 people again, which was in Ejiba, the CAC or so. Remember that one? And the pastor, you remember that pastor's wife that was begging that the terrorists were demanding for 100 million naira. Also from Kogi State. We haven't seen or heard from them. But this afternoon, children, I'm talking about babies, were among those taken nearly 2 weeks now from that ECWA church. And yeah, they were having a banquet dinner inside the Asshole Rock, where they were singing the praises of Tinubu about his achievements, and on and on. Yeah, over 150 of the Papiri school children, the St. Mary Catholic School, right? Papiri in Niger State, are also still very much with their captives in captivity. But this one is sad. The terrorists are demanding for 600 million naira, allegedly. Children, babies, did you see them? They have been in God knows where, between Kogi and God knows where, like in the forest there. No one is actually looking for them, if you must know. And when it is politically convenient, right? Maybe they will call the terrorists and give them some money so that they can then, use them for their prop and all that, to say, oh, we are doing well. I mean, we are doing so well. Now that we know that Mietiala's guns were licensed straight from the office of the NSA in Nigeria, that's the National Security Advisor, Rebadom, you know. So Kolu left Abuja, by the way. They said he's on a 3-state tour. So went to Borno, Bauchi, and is back to Lagos. But in Bauchi, right, this was captured. So he was in Bauchi to go and see the family of that late Shehu or something of Bauchi. They have a name for him. You know that Sheikh Dahiru Usman Bauchi or something that died just last month, I think. So he went there, then he renamed the Federal University of Science and Tech or something, right? After him, then he left for Lagos just to save our time. its arrival in Lagos.
Thank you. Welcome back.
Jasco is always leading the troop to welcome him to Lagos. Meanwhile, the Lagos earlier, right, was hellish, especially on the island. It's like, man, never got to go just one run mad. And this was before Tinubu's arrival. So he's going to spend the Christmas, I think, in Lagos. I think. So therefore, those of you who are doing your dirty December in Lagos, you might need to probably get yourselves ready. Okay? But on the mainland, I'm not sure how it's currently running on the mainland. But for the people of Oshodi Solo, they got their own Christmas gift very early. Yeah, this is why they are loyal to APC. Just to remind you, Oshodi Solo, empowerment for women. Oh no, sorry. For the people of the local government, or should I say for the APC members, you wouldn't know. Here.
Ayé tọ́lájà lójú ayé wa nínú ìtọ́jú wa sí tàbí ṣe kékeré láti bímọ sí kò ṣẹlẹ̀ rí. Ọjọ́ ní sọ̀nà wà ní kí gbogbo wa lọ́lọ́ fún ẹyọ kan ọ̀sẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ ẹyọ kan. Kò ṣẹlẹ̀ ẹ̀tọ́ bá nífẹ̀ẹ́ ìwé òṣèjà ẹ̀tọ́ bá nífẹ̀ẹ́ ìwé òṣèjà. Àwọn àgbàwọ̀ máa ròkè ní ẹni dání bá tó wẹ̀ máa ròkè àwọn èdè òní ròkè látọ̀rí àtọ̀rí ẹ̀rọ àti kò ṣẹlẹ̀ ó máa jẹ́rú lọ́sọ̀dì ẹ̀rù ó ti lọ. Aṣíwájú àfọ́sọ̀dì aṣíwájú àfọ́sọ̀dì. Aṣíwájú àfọ́sọ̀dì ó wà kẹ́kù lọ́mọ. Kẹ́kù lọ́mọ. Kẹ́kù ní.
Things are getting better for Nigeria. Things are getting better. For Asiwaju is on the throne. Things are getting better. Things are getting better. things are getting better. Mr. President, things are getting better. Hey, I said, things are getting better for Nigeria. For Nigeria is on the way. Progressive government, things are getting better. Asiwaju, congratulations. Things.
So according to them, that is the first time in history that individuals will be given that goat. That in the past, they will give one goat to to the entire world for all of them to go and share. But this particular local government chairman in the Solo local government area of Lagos State, this is the first time, and they wished him well enough that he can spend all the time he wants to be the chairman. After that, he's going to be governor. And then one of them said, he's going to be governor, then he's going to be House of Rep. You can make of that what you think. It is Nigeria, right? And yeah, everyone with his own pot of soup. I also found something interesting that I want to share with you. While the terrorists have been seen severally attending what they call the peace meetings across northern Nigeria, but still went ahead to, went back to kidnap more people and possibly discredit what should have been a peace meeting that a lot of us also pretty much question that. What kind of peace meeting are you having with these terrorists? That they are not surrendering their weapons to say they are not going back to violence. But anyway, I found one from Zamfara where a Fulani terrorist was trying to speak about peace to his fellow jihadists. So he was now using what they call the Dogo Turanshi. You don't see where terrorists they try to speak English before. Now I have it here inside Nigeria. And they are from Zamfara, by the way. Zamfara.
I represent Zamfara. After that, I need to send message to Dauda Lawal Diri. Dauda Lawal Diri, Itaqillaha. Dauda Lawal Diri, Itaqillaha. Itaqillaha. As from today, we need to zaman lafiya in Zamfara State. Fighting is not continue to zaman lafiya. Peace is very important of you, because totally if you continue to look at the Eastern West Africa, you see Sulhu is very important for me. After that, I need to send message to Commissioner of Defense, Tukur Usman Gusau. He is the one of the send the aeroplane to come bush to bombing and bandit. This one is not good now. So, Kuma, if you see the Fulani, the Nigeria all is the House of Fulani, not the one Travali. Vigilante group. For instance, look at last week, vigilante group to come my area to follow my cow and sheep to go. There is no reason here. Dauda Lawal Diri, Itaqillaha. Dauda Lawal Diri, Itaqillaha. You are the leader of Nigeria, Zamfara State, in terms of my Zamfara State. So, if you are need to continue to lead Zamfara State very well, no be problem. So just come and call the Fulani, the Kashalas, to come to meet them. If the Fulani need something, the benefit of cows in terms of bohol, murtsake, and other different beneficial. So after that, if you have questions, just raise your hands and ask. For instance, look at you resembling like a Fulani. You are a white man. You know they say where Fulani is thief, all the thief. No. Wala no the Fulani all they are thief. No. Go and check him. Now, for instance, me, I am the one that my house, I building my house very clean. Ama you send the aeroplane now to come and bombing it. Why? I don't know why. So if you are thief, so nobody can come with your area to push your thief. So you have to be respect your country. If you don't follow the.
How many times would they tell you before you know that Nigeria is not for you? Ah! Now they never leave you. They have left you behind. Photo, not be juju be that. Sorry, oh. May God not allow them, make them kill you. 70 years old man. I am mumu too much. You be mumu. You think say they wise?
Terrorists armed, and there is not even a single cow in sight. Not a single cow, all armed, claiming to be peacemakers, and government was bombing their houses, and he is not a criminal, it's not this, but look at them. You would hope that they can say the same, or the people of Fan districts in Plateau State, who lost 12 of their own, people to this same armed Fulani terrorists. While they were burying them yesterday, in Plateau State, the rumor started, fielding that the Fulani terrorists were approaching. They didn't eventually, but people who have experienced these endless attacks couldn't really wait to confirm it. Many of them had to leave the burial site because a lot of people came out for the burial. But the moment they heard the alarm that the terrorists are on their way again, they had to begin to run away. Like in that panic way.
I'm reporting right now. We're here for the burial of the 12 people who were killed, and right now they're saying Fulani people are here again or something, and people are running away. I'm moving towards that direction. If anything is happening, Media Church will be able to get you the videos. Media Church will be able to get you there. We have one of our cameraman is over there, so it will help. But I'm here. I'm going there right now. You can see people running away, people leaving. Burial is not yet done, but people are leaving.
Their governor has joined Kolu. So Muftwanga, or what is his name, is joined APC, just like a Taraba governor has also joined APC. Adamawa governor joined APC. Benue governor is APC, was always like after autumn. But they were telling their people that the reason why they are joining APC is because they will get more protection from the federal, they will get more attention and the rest, but they never did. They won't. It's just so sad though, right? Now let's leave that aside and quickly touch one of your newly confirmed ambassadors, meeting with one of the ex-convicts in the power in Nigeria. Okay, and that's Reno Mokri. Reno Mokri was seen with, or he visited Uzo Kalu, after the Senate confirmed him as ambassador designate. What do you call them again? Here.
You have advice of my principles that you are friends. We are the son of this nation. We are friendly to every tribe. If you go to your village now in Delta State, Igbos are living there. Whether they are Igbos of Delta or they are Igbos of Onitsha or Igbere or Abia or Enugu, they are living there in your village.
Yes, sir.
You are my friend.
Yes, sir.
Very good friend of mine.
Yes, sir.
You should build togetherness for the nation.
Yes, sir.
So the nation, beyond my President Tinubu,
yes, sir,
who build friendship everywhere.
Yes, sir.
And that is what we are trying. I want to thank you for coming with the chairman, yes, sir, of our party.
Yes, sir.
That shows you are a party now.
Yes, sir.
Maintain that party. Yes, sir. Affiliation.
Yes, sir.
You are an ambassador of Nigeria.
Yes, sir.
And also, you can leave it in video.
No, I want to pray. I want to
maintain the party affiliation, respect our state chairman, because if he's a state chairman in Delta, he can equally be state chairman in Abia. I'm a party man. I respect party. I congratulate you once again, and God will lead you to be a very good ambassador, and God will lead you to do things that Delta State, Nigerian people will be proud of you.
Amen, sir.
You are a very kind man. I want to thank you for all the jobs you have done for our president. But the only thing I have is when you call the Igbos.
Yes, sir.
You know I'm an Igbo man, I'm not
yes,
a Igbo.
Yes, sir.
But I'm a Nigerian.
Yes, sir.
They're from Igbo.
Yes, sir.
So let your language now be Nigerian.
Yes, sir.
And I congratulate you once again.
Thank you, sir.
For being passed by the Senate. And you are a nice guy. And continue to do well.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Joke.
Please, sir. Please, sir. Just allow me, sir, to stand for just 2 minutes, sir. Only 2 minutes, sir.
Tell the chairman.
Chairman, please, can I take permission?
Yes,
sir.
I say you should sit down.
Yeah, 2 minutes, sir. Please, 2 minutes, sir. 2 minutes, sir.
If chairman.
Yes, sir. I just want to say that a lot of people will not realize the level of respect that I have for His Excellency, Senator Orji Yusuf-Halu. I have a lot of respect for him because if you look at his life, I mean, going back to his youth when he was in Maiduguri, this is a man that believes in Nigeria, a very pan-Nigerian man, you know, dead to ethnicity, dead to region, dead to religion. A lot of people don't know that. I know his history. I'm not going to go.
Nuisance, Lele.
He said the same thing about Peter Obi until that changed. He even made a video. Some of you will remember, right? Then he went on bad shit like Big 40 Tinubu. Then he's rewarded. He's an ambassador. Just probably look forward to which of the countries you are going to have him as your ambassador. Ambassador Dino. I'm sorry, I said Dino. Reno. Mockery. But there is another one, which is said he will be my Judas Iscariot. Rotifmi Amechi. He believes that no, if Tinubu, as they believe, is a strategist and what have you, right? If Tinubu is indeed a Mr. Strategist, okay, he should allow proper electoral law or something, right? Which means by, letting the, the transmission of election results, it should be allowed rather than this archaic one where they have to take election from here or ballot papers from here, take it to another center where they're going to have to declare the result elsewhere. No, let every polling unit be able to upload their own election results so that those who vote in the remotest village in Rivers State could upload their result for, and those of you who are in Abuja or anywhere in the world can easily see what is the vote from this area or water area. Something they promised you in 2023, but they didn't do. I make you believe that if they allowed that in your 2027 charade, right, ADC will need to campaign because they are positioning themselves as the main opposition. You know that. Amechi.
Why is this offense? Like Dr. Jim was writing. Okay. And that was about the top conference I was attending on November. And if you remember, I made a comment. I said, when Buhari was president, you tried to do electoral reform. People who are not asked to electoral reform, refuse it. They said, no. So I said, no government will do it. You must be very radical to do it. The only way you can get the electoral reform is the people. Yes. If you come out and say, we will die today, it will be our election. Then, but just to know that no more. But if you continue to keep quiet, they will never do electoral reform. What does it say to do electoral reform? Electronic voting, electronic transmission. So if you vote here now, you'll be in our village. You who is in Abuja. We see the result. So we don't need revised you don't need to train anybody. Don't need to here. Because as he votes for in my village, the result is in Abuja. Instant, everybody is doing it. In fact, if you key into it, you don't even need to go to Abuja, or you don't need to check Abuja. Just check your phone. You automatically see the result. So by the time they say phone closed, give yourself 4 hours, you have calculated the result. And everybody is here, and I told you what those who see the variety to me. Oh, God, no, don't approve it. Don't approve it. Russia will lead the election. That has an equipment that will give a which is true. But there are antidotes. Why is Russia not affecting the American election? Why is Russia not determining this situation? There are antidotes. So you don't apply those antidotes to stop people from hacking into your. But that kind when the electoral reform, we will not get it from Tinubu. People know that if he makes a mistake and does that, I don't believe him. All I'm trying for brother. Once he go for me, I'll sit here. But the way they hate Tinubu and hate Ike, election will finish by 8 days. No campaign. No member of ADC will campaign. Just sit in your house. You don't look for you. You want them. But the other reason why you're going out is because, unfortunately, people won't do electoral reform. So, if you don't do electoral reform, you have to fight hard. And people that are trying to fight our nation. For me, trust me, if you wake up and God has given us president, you will take more people. Let the people decide. The moment politicians know that this is my fair master, you will tell me whether I can come back or not. The reason why politicians are not behaving is power is not in your hand. Power is in the hand of whoever is your boss. So why are you happy to do this? I've made the thing you guys yourself. Let me tell you something. You get it. Why is this? Why is this offensive? I'd love to do with that. Okay. And that was about the third conference I was attending on the right. And if you remember, I made a comment.
Sorry, I'm just trying to kind of like wrap it up. I always take advantage of it when we are not that busy. I'm like, just drop it and then call it a night. But before that, right? One of them died yesterday. Is a former senator. Okay, it wouldn't really mean anything if not that there is a clip of his that is currently like trending. Nwoboshi, that's his name, I think. Yeah, Senator Nwoboshi. So he died yesterday, or his death was announced yesterday. And then he's talking about the vanity of all these things. He's got houses here, he's got houses there, he's got all this stuff. By the end of the day, he only had to sleep in a room at once, and the blah, the blah. I don't know. Just thought you should hear it.
Ujokono's house, which is one of the best houses in Asaba, I bought it. Nobody is there. Everything in that house is bulletproof. Yes. I bought it there last week. The day I have not slept there one day. You want to know my house in Asaba? Yes. Go to Lagos and see my house. I own a house in Maitama, not just Maitama, where the big boys live in this country. I feel a mansion there. I have more than 5 or 6 houses, not 6, in Abuja.
I have in Lagos, I have in Port Harcourt, I have in London, but I was in one room, one single day. Does it make any sense to you?
Yes,
no.
Sir.
Do you get the sense?
Yes,
with all these things, I was in one room. I'm not going to do more than one. So that is the vanity
Your dear mother, the wife of the late President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, President Muhammad Buhari.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Your Excellency.
Yeah, that one is the governor of, I think, Katsina also, right? Vanity. They have all these, but at the end of the day, there is a time in their life that they just feel like, man, maybe they shouldn't have been that covetous, like they shouldn't be that much like greedy and all that, but it won't change anything, would it? Maybe not really. So 600 billion naira was allegedly left behind by the sole administrator of Rivers State at the end of the state of emergency rule in Rivers. And the governor, Fulbara, was accused of spending this money without appropriation by the State House of Assembly. I later figured out that, the National Assembly passed the Rivers State budget for 2025. So Fulbara was just like spending the money approved by Akpabiole. But 600 billion, well, a few days ago, he himself kind of like said, yes, he met 600 billion. And then we thought that the blah around it. It's been hanging there in the archive. Listen.
When we left during the emergency rule, our records are there. We left over 300 and something billion. When we came back, we met about 600 and something. Every penny that we're spending, the record is there. And evidence of it will be shown within now and the next 6 months. So there is no issue on what are we doing with our money. What are we doing with the money they made? At least nobody can take away my sincerity, my genuineness. I am not associated to anything that has to do with fraudulent acts. If there is one thing I can say and do that I'm even proud of, is nobody can associate me with anything that has to do with any bad thing. So your money and the record of how your monies are being spent is intact. We have very, 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 very strong projects that we are doing. Maybe the reason why some persons believe that there is something that is happening that they are not aware. We don't believe in flagging of projects, except otherwise. We believe in commissioning them. We don't want to spend money just to flag up projects and also spend money to commission. So let's save you the money of flagging off and entertain you when we are ready to tell you that this is what we have done.
Somebody that for a whole year, he couldn't walk freely. With the weekend had to hide him inside the government house in Port Harcourt simply because the EFCC declared him wanted. Remember, EFCC declared him wanted over a 428 billion naira River State money that was misappropriated. With the Wike had immunity, Fulbara didn't. So EFCC declared him wanted. He was about to be grabbed. Wike dragged him and kept him and his family inside the government house. On the day he wanted to go and submit his own governorship interest form to PDP, if some of you will remember, where the Wike had to provide a special security that he was willing to actually go to war with the EFCC if they made any attempt of arresting him. But he's standing before them there, telling them that I am not associated with. But anyway, ish. And those who are sort of like worried that Tinubu and his gang have forged the new tax law. Before I even get to that, it was with his boss at a burial, right, in the States earlier today. That's a full barra. And with a week.
Open up.
She's a person who loves and cares passionately about the needs of others. She tries to meet their needs and encourages and gives them others where necessary at time and energy. Better individual in society. Adieu, mommy.
So the what do you call it? The Tinubu's team have been accused of, with evidence, by the way, of doctoring what should be their gazetted new tax law that goes into effect in January. Okay, in the next few weeks or few days. So it is said that they've changed the scope of this said tax law that was signed. So the reporting rules altered to what you have on the screen now, right? So dollar requirement to pay tax in US dollars for some, right? And new appeal restriction, which includes that to appeal non-payment of your tax, right? First of all, you probably have to drop the 20% of the expected tax. And some of these things were practically not really included in the original approved tax law. In the midst of all of that, the FIRS building was on fire. I'm like, no, this is online. They settled things online, so you don't actually have to run a building for that. But Nigeria now, the moment the head office of the FIRS in Abuja, they've changed their name as well to something FRG. It was on fire. Sorry about that. I know my voice was low, so pretty much not really. If you could grab what I said, right? So yeah, people were complaining about the tax law, that they forged it. And the evidence has shown that what the lawmakers approved and gave to Tinubu, then signed by him, is different from the one gazetted that they are going to implement in January. So a lot of people are telling them to stop the planned implementation of the new tax law in January, or it may throw Nigeria into serious chaos. But with evidence of this doctored tax law, right? The news of their FIRS building in Abuja burning, caught people like, oh, they were burning the document. I said, no, come on. This is 2025. The document is online, all right? Except the copy, the copy that Tinubu signed and the copy that they gazetted. The one is signed publicly was the one approved by the National Assembly. Sure, you get. The one he now gazetted, which is also signed by him, is a different copy that includes some of the things that were never part of the approved one. So they're asking him to suspend it, but he's not going to suspend it. It is Nigeria. It's more or less like, people would find a way to adjust to it, but we'll see to that. So to those of you who are in Lagos, all right, just note that you might need more than just knowing about the law, especially those of you I just got back. If you and I just get back, IJGB in Nigeria right now, or in Lagos, okay, I advise you to probably ask the locals how to. One of you was actually quoting section 32, section something of Police Act to a policeman who is only interested in seeing how much he can grab from you, or any fault he can find on you, and then they grab something for Christmas. He quotes Police Act. How many Nigerian policemen actually knows their own Police Act? How many?
Section 29 of the Police Act says that the police should stop the driver on the road if there is suspicion for stolen goods. Say you know. You don't know the Police Act? Yeah, no wala. Really smile.
In Lagos too, right? But section 29 for Nigerian police, high rights. Here is my last one. Okay, this one is also from Lagos, where Wahhabi was at work. I mean, they are trying their best to make this dirty December pretty much like, I don't know, like a stress-free experience for you, but that is basically not going to happen, right? But this was Lagos, clearing the shanties and clearing the illegal structures, obstructing the structures as usual in their way, but it just never ends. Place, man, just never ends, you know. week in, week out, probably every day, you know. It's a mental place. There is a part of what Reno was saying earlier that I kind of like escaped. I think I could include it in this chart before we call it a night, okay? That was the part where he wanted to tell us about his love for the Igbos. And I was like, okay. I mean, everything he said about the Igbos, all because of his supposed anger or reaction to how the obedient, you know, were trolling him and the rest of that. So, and all the all the rubbish he said about the Igbos, he practically swallowed them. Like, I mean, not directly, but yeah. Do you want to hear that? Let me show you. Is here.
That I have for His Excellency Senator Orji Usokali. I have a lot of respect for him because if you look at his life, I mean, going back to his youth when he was in Maiduguri, this is a man that believes in Nigeria, very pan-Nigerian man, you know, dead to ethnicity, dead to religion, dead to religion. A lot of people don't know that. I know his history. I'm not going to go too much into that. One thing I want to say is that, unfortunately, for political reasons, I've had to be against Peter Obi because I am a very loyal person, loyal to my party and loyal to my country. And Peter Obi had run against my party, Waziri Atiku Abubakar. I was instrumental in bringing them together, and I felt a degree that I had to make my candidate win. And then after the October 26, 2022 verdict of the Supreme Court, I threw my lot completely and totally with my country and with the president of my country. And I believe that I did the right thing. And there's this perception by some that, you know, I was anti-Igbo, and nothing could be further from the truth. Nothing could be further from the truth. My ethnicity, my own ethnicity, I was a columnist on this day, I believe, from 2016 till last year. So that's going to be about how many years? 8 years thereabout. I wrote 17 articles in praise of the Igbo people of Nigeria. 17. I have not written, I think I wrote one in defense of Okotiebo, who is a leading light for my people. I wrote one. But other than that, I have not written about my people. And there's no way I would do that if I don't have a lot of love and respect for the Igbo people. Some of you will go online and will just Google my children. I have a very beautiful child, and her name is Ebeli Chukwu. So I would not give my child an Igbo name if I don't have a lot of love, affection, affinity for the Igbo people. I will not. Also, and I want you, if you're watching this, to don't take my word for it, just verify, because I tend to leave a digital footprint. During the lockdown, I gave out slightly over $10,000 to Nigerians, just as support. And 40% of the people who got that support were people of Igbo origin. And how you know? Because once we give out the money, we tweet or rather now they say X, we post the receipts. So you can actually go back and look, because we use the hashtag. And then if you recall, in 2019 there was an Onitsha market fire. A lot of people just allowed that fire to go by. I didn't. I donated money. I donated money for that Onitsha market fire. And then the Onitsha market traders, if you Google it, they did a video thanking me. Unfortunately, they called me Raymond Omokri. That I have for His Excellency.
So, he's not sending me to Igbos. He did all of that for politics and yeah, the blah, the blah. Anyway, thanks so much for your time. Okay. To every one of you that always kind of like always show up, I always give it to you. Okay. Thank you. And please don't forget, share the broadcast if you haven't already. All right. I'm going to see you again. And yeah, you should have a wonderful weekend. Good night.
àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o.
Máyégún Diary Kogi #1.
bó bá ṣe eré àní Máyégún máa wí.
Máyégún Diary Kogi #1.
ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o.
Máyégún Diary Kogi #1.
Máyégún Diary politico.
Máyégún Diary Kogi #1.
Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Máyégún.
Máyégún Diary Kogi #1.
ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o.
Máyégún Diary Kogi #1.
àní Máyégún làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Máyégún Diary Kogi #1.
àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé. Máyégún ti dé.
ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
lórí Facebook.
Máyégún ti dé.
àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
lórí YouTube.
Máyégún ti dé.
àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́.
Máyégún máa wí.
àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
ijó ìgbádìyẹ.
Máyégún máa wí.
àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o.
Máyégún máa wí.
àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
kí gómìnà kówó jẹ.
Máyégún máa wí.
àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
ọlọ́pàá tí ń darí bá.
Máyégún máa wí.
àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o.
Máyégún máa wí.
àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
òpùrọ́ olóṣèlú.
Máyégún máa wí.
àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Máyégún ti dé. gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé. gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o.
Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ òní fi wọ́n níran.
wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o Máyégún ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀. wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ Máyégún ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀. oníkanṣá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ òní fi wọ́n níran.
kì máa yí ṣe eré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. kì máa yí ṣe eré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣà ìtú wọn síta.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ òní fi wọ́n níran.
tẹnitẹni ọmọ Máyégún ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni mo fọlọ́run ṣọ́ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù. lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù. bọ́tà ń lè rí bóníṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹrùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sè mọ́bẹ̀. èèpo ọ̀bọ̀n lọmọ bá dérò tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́ ó ti jọba lórí àbínú ẹni kò sì mọ́ bùyà. àìsíwọ́lu ní ẹnìkẹ́ ìgbódì ẹyin lábàrá o ó kó ẹni tó bá dán wò á kàmù. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì o. Ẹni bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n níran o.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Máyégún làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dódòdó.
Máyégún dáyàrí Máyégún nọ́mbà wá.
Máyégún làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dódòdó.
Máyégún dáyàrí Máyégún nọ́mbà wá.
Máyégún ti dé o ọ̀rẹ́ ará ìlú.
Máyégún dáyàrí Máyégún nọ́mbà wá.
Lórí Facebook lórí YouTube.
Máyégún dáyàrí Máyégún nọ́mbà wá.
Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Máyégún já wa sí.
Máyégún dáyàrí Máyégún nọ́mbà wá.
Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o.
Máyégún dáyàrí Máyégún nọ́mbà wá.
Bó bá ṣe eré àní Máyégún máa wí